Hello and welcome to your monthly message. This is for people with a life path number of 4. So those of you born in April, this is a birthday message for you. So happy birthday for those born in the month of April. And numerologically, April is a 4-month and your life path 4 in the year 2024. So for you, it's absolute grounding. Yeah, being grounded, writing, contractual agreements, mortgages, legal affairs. For some of you, it will mean police matters, but definitely the letter and the letter of the law is very important for those of you born in April this month. So when we add the 4, when we drop the 4, drop the 2, add 2 and 4 is 6. So you got 4, 4, 2, 6. So for me, I feel around the 26th of April, that's going to be significant for some of you. When you add the 4 and the 4, it reduces to 8. Add the 2, or adds to 8. 2 and 6 adds to 8. So you got 88. So lots and lots and lots of opportunity. Opportunity for growth, wealth, business, investment, long-lasting relationships, karmic ties, meeting your twin flame, having a twin flame relationship with someone that it's very much a power relationship. Sometimes there can be power struggles within a relationship, but the feeling for me is so much because you got the 2 and the 6, it's a partnership which is filled with love. Because the 6 is in the tarot, in the Major Arcana, it's the Lover's card. So you will be making decisions around love, but I feel like you'll be making decisions from the heart. And the 4 and the 4, which is partnership. So it's twin flames coming together. You've then got 8 and 8, which is 16. So new beginning in love, and that can be matrimonial. And then the 1 and the 6 is 7, which is a very magical number. 7 notes in a musical octave, 7 wonders of the world, 7 colours in a rainbow. The 7 seas, even though we know there's more oceans and seas than that, but 7 is a very, very beautiful magical number. It's connected to the crown chakra, so connection with divine source. It's also a godly number. It's a number that comes up for Jesus Christ, so that Christ-centered energy, that Christ mind, tuning into that energy. Perhaps this twin flame awakening, when you come together, will send you in that direction where you both get in contact with your twin energy, and you get in contact with higher source, whatever that means for you. So overall, it's going to be a powerful month with many revelations. It's going to be a powerful month with lots of decision making, but it will lead on to big, big, big opportunities. And those new beginnings are coming, perhaps even in family-based business. Maybe there'll be family reunion. The drawing together of people. You can probably hear Spotify in the background. I like listening to Spotify. That's my music streaming service that I like to use. At the moment, I'm listening to Singing Bowls 2024 by Natural_Spirit. They've got 28,666 likes. And followers. So they're who I use as a streaming service. I definitely love Spotify. So if you do hear that in the background, that's more for me rather than for you. But yeah, love it. So yeah, big opportunities coming for you. Let's turn to some cards. I've got a few decks that I'm using for your reading. Happy birthday to you! It's going to be amazing. Actually, you know what? A friend of mine says that we only have one birthday, and it's true. You're only born once. You're born once, you're birthed once. You just have an anniversary of your journey around the sun. So it should be many happy returns. That's what I should be saying to you. So with the tarot, with the angel tarot, I basically read the major arcana and I read the aces and the tens and the court cards only. And I will tie that into your numerology. We'll try my best to. So I'll be reading from that. I'll also be using the Zibu Angel Symbology deck. This is a great deck. It has sigils on it. Those sigils can be used as tattoos. They can be drawn on cards. You can put them on a piece of paper and put them on the fridge to remind you of the energy that you're drawing into your life. Also, it's very funny because we have that solar eclipse on the 8th of April. So some of you, especially those of you that have a life path 4, that will be big. So the big times of month for you are around the 8th, which is just after the first week of April, and around the 26th. They're big dates for you. The 8th of April, the 26th, and the 4th, of course. Because 4 comes up so many times. You've got 4, 4, 4 in that day, and the life path. So yeah. Also, these cards. These are King James Bible cards. I'll be reading from those cards, and then we'll be doing Janet's pick. Janet makes these bags, and there's lots and lots and lots of little goodie cards in here. So I will be drawing a few of those for you as well at the end of the reading. So let's get stuck into the cards. As we do that, I'm going to say a quick Reiki chant and a prayer. By the truth of the Christ-like power within me, chokare, chokare, chokare. Say head key, say head key, say head key. Chokare, chokare, chokare. Honshize shonen, honshize shonen, honshize shonen. Chokare, chokare, chokare. Habukana. Effortless connection. Reiki, Reiki, Reiki. Shati, Shati, Shati. Alcemia, Alcemia, Alcemia. Station, Station, Station. Divine, Heavenly, Holy Spirit. I ask you to step in whilst I do this reading to deliver a clear, accurate and concise message to our Life Path 4 viewers that they may receive guidance on the month of April that will lead them to lasting joy, peace and happiness. For this we give thanks it is so, and so it is. Just give the cards a shuffle. So I've moved into my new unit. So that's coming to mind at the moment. So some of you actually may be moving. Maybe moving into the family home, or they may actually be moving out of their parents' home. There's definitely a connection with family there though. So either you've got someone coming to stay with you, or you're leaving the family home and venturing out. But there's connections around family and new beginnings. It will be a magical time, but try not to play the martyr if that comes up. If there's any little hiccups, just remind yourself this is fear. It's fear-based energy. It's asking me whether I want to do this or not. I am worthy of having what I want, as according to James. Okay, James has come up. I was going to say John chapter 6, verse 6. You're allowed to have what you want. Okay, so there's a woman. She's an air sign, independent, experienced, realistic, witty. Very objective decision maker. She's able to clear away all that no longer serves her very quickly. She's in the suit of swords, so she acts decisively and very quickly. She's had her eye on the prize for a long time. But now, once she's ready to move, and she'll do that, she'll be patient. She'll sit and watch through her crystal ball, as per se. She'll sit and she'll watch. for a long, 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 long time before she's ready to move, before she's ready to act. But once she's ready to move, bang. So that being in April, you are either an Aries or a Taurus. No. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Dizzy Reverend. Right, so you've got the Knight of Fire. So that's what I was saying before. You're prepared to wait with the patience of the Queen of Swords, but once you've made that decision, you fly into action like the Knight of Fire. So there's a lot of passion going on, lots of adventures. You'll be very self-assured about the decisions that you're making. There is a restless energy, but there will be a sudden event that will take place. Time will be of the essence, but I feel that you will think things through very carefully, which is why we're seeing the Queen of Air. I'm also seeing a young man. He's either African or African American or African British, Afro-British. Either way, he's got dark skin. This one. I'm seeing a young man with dark, or he could be an Indigenous person. Indigenous Australian, First Nations people. And yeah, we would like to give thanks to the First Nations people of Australia, particularly to the Dunghutti people, on which land I live and work. And I'd like to pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. So yeah, this person could be Indigenous, they could be African, African American, they could be British but with dark skin. But this person, they usually go charging into situations. They're a warrior. They're a warrior, all right? And they're putting their best foot forward too. I mean, they haven't had too much turbulence in the past, but they're ready to go for the gold. They're going for gold. This could be a couple. If it is, it's an older woman and a younger man. So it could be a mother figure. And actually the young male is moving out. Maybe he's ready to just leave home. Maybe the mother has ideas for what she wants for her son's future, but I feel like he's got his head down and his eyes forward. So he's looking towards the future. There is an awakening. He's been waiting. So there's patience that's been involved here. Because the awakening card, which is Archangel Gabriel, is waiting around, looking at things from a different perspective, a temporary standstill in a situation. There's an importance to be yourself. As we're with the Queen, I feel like she's quite stern, quite a stern woman. You know, likes to put people in a glass ball, like, you know, which is very symbolic to me of being put in a box. You know, but I mean, she has an air of grace about her, but she's very cutting, very to the point, very strict. But when she makes a decision, that's it. It's either her way or the highway. And I feel like this young man is going to basically choose the highway. He's got his head down and he's looking forward. He's like, no, I've been waiting around, but I've had an awakening now. I'm stepping into awakening. If I fall, I fall, but I'm prepared to take the fall. I'm prepared to jump off the cliff, not physically, but rhetorically speaking. Especially with the 7, because with that 7 comes persecution, condemnation, rejection sometimes. But it's also a scientific number. But perhaps the young man has been feeling condemned and persecuted by his mother or his if this person represents a person that's, say, Caucasian, then maybe it's his stepmother or his half-mother feeling judged, condemned, or perhaps there's a relationship breakdown. Maybe she's a bit of a cougar, she's a bit of a younger man. Either way, there's a few ways this could play out. But what I feel for you is that, yeah, you are independent and experienced, and you do have realistic objectives. So really all you need to do is put your passion and adventurous spirit into what it is that you're doing. You've been feeling a restlessness for a while. You've been feeling like you need to move forward. You need to go somewhere. You need to take a journey. And I feel like there's someone that's been watching this all roll out. They know that this needs to take place. I feel like there's messages of an emotional nature. Use your intuition and sensitivity to really understand whether those messages are for your highest and greatest good, because I feel like there's something being hidden. So this could be Cladstone love affairs, by the way. Remembering, I only use aces and tens. And what I'm seeing here is an older woman, a younger man, things taking a temporary standstill, difficulty to be heard and understood, difficulty getting your words across, a new person entering your life, or a current relationship taking a new phase, heightened psychic abilities, turning the page on it, you know, in your book of life, turning the page, turning over a new leaf. But there's secrecy as well. There's secrecy. And you need to learn to balance your ego and your spirit, you know, and get into meditation, because there are important psychic insights happening. And there are events behind the scenes. So you need to release any harsh fears that are holding you back. When you feel the fear, just stop and say, yeah, that's my ego talking. It's asking me whether I really, really want what it is that I'm doing. And if it is what you really want, feel the fear and do it anyway. That's within reason. Don't do things that you know are dangerous, like powders, pills, get overly intoxicated. You know, go doing weird, wonderful tricks for the sake of a video to put on TikTok that could lead you to, I don't know, being badly damaged, badly hurt. You know, you need to really have foresight, and that's what this queen is good with. She's actually good at looking at situations and saying, no, well, that's not really good. Once she makes a decision, and I feel like, yeah, even though she's stern and strict, she does have this young man's future at heart. And he feels like he's not going anywhere. He feels like he's not progressing, and he wants to turn the page. But there's issues going on around secrets. Maybe the whole story hasn't been painted yet. This could actually be this could be an adoption story. Sorry, I keep dropping cards. I'm sorry. This could be an adoption story. You know, where the person is so like, oh, hello, like I'm so obviously different. How can I not be? You know, there's secrets around the relationship anyway. Whatever those secrets are. You know, I'm feeling like some of you are knowing what's happening behind the scenes while other people aren't. And there's a real opportunity to rush into another situation, but you don't want to jump out of the fry pan and into the fire. And especially when we're looking at the 8s there in the month of April, it's a month where you can actually step into owning your power and step into a position where you are doing well with your life and allowing abundance and prosperity and good fortune to come to you. So yeah, it's a good time in your life, and you just need to have that foresight and be really decisive with what it is you want. So yeah, it sounds so cliche, but literally writing down what it is that you want. You need to ground that energy. Do your meditation, work out what it is in your mind that you want to achieve, and then ground that energy by writing it down. Because you are having an awakening. You are. And it is important to be yourself. But when you get the 1 and the 6 like that, new beginning and family too, and you got 2 people coming together that are quite successful, very successful, or at least when they do come together, they trigger success in each other, and that's the way it should be. A true twin flame relationship usually will trigger an awakening, but if both don't grow from that awakening, then that causes problems. That causes trouble. You know? And I'm not saying just a one night event where you meet someone and you only know them at night and that triggers an awakening. Sorry, it doesn't. For me personally, in my belief, that doesn't happen. They might bring you to an awareness of certain things or inspire you to certain things, but they're not bringing you into a full awakening. A full awakening takes time. It can happen instantly if you meet a yogi or a seer or a sage or a mage or someone that gives you a psychic transmission. One very similar to what Jesus Christ would have done, or Buddha, or a yogi of some sort, Yogananda. A transmission of energy may actually bring you into starting to evolve. But what I'm looking at here in a twin flame thing, and even if it's a mother-son twin flame, and that's possible too, it's possible to be twin flames with your parent. And twin flame relationships don't always have to be of a sexual nature. That's where a lot of people get mixed up. They think it's a love thing, it's a love relationship. Oh, I'm with my twin flame, she's so, this and that. It doesn't always have to be that. Sometimes it can be karmic, which is what we see with the 8. We're seeing 2, this is karmic. So it's lifting karma, sin, if you will. There's a new beginning centering around the heart and the crown chakra. But what I'm feeling here with your numbers, especially with it being a 7-month, and having to make decisions and wanting to rush into a situation and things being put on standstill for quite a while, but then wanting to turn a page and receiving an emotional message. Could be a heated message, a text message, an email, a phone call, a voicemail, regarding secrets, regarding secrecy, energy, emotions flowing quite turbulently. This could lead to a situation where you are feeling, and this is karmic. So when you move through this, remember this. The following month, when you move into May, you're stepping into an 8. You're stepping into an 8 month, because it only goes up by 1 digit. Yeah? So you're stepping into that 8 months. So that is actually out of the trauma of April, even though it can be a beautiful, wonderful thing, and lots of it will be, especially around the date of the 26th and the 8th and the 4th. So from the 4th of April to the 8th of April, that's a hotbed period. Then moving on to the 26th of April, that's a big event happening as well. So there's situations which are like catalyst situations, like a tower moment, which is actually after a period of nothing. There's this tower moment where you're like, wow, the walls of lack and delay have crumbled away, and I'm stepping into my promised land under grace. That's a Florence Scovel Sheen affirmation. But you need to move through the trauma. Any past trauma, you need to resolve it, and it needs to be resolved by the 26th. Now, if you're the type of person that doesn't work on your trauma regularly, that might be a little bit hard to do, but don't worry, you will get another opportunity to do that in the future, okay? You will get an opportunity to do that. But for those of you that work on meditation and work with a therapist regularly, or see a pastor or a vicar or a minister or a reverend, or you go to church or to mosque or to temple, and you're centered in your faith, even if you're a pagan or a Wiccan, or you practice Norse religions or indigenous religions, doesn't matter. If you're spiritually in tune and you do the spiritual work regularly, you have a good opportunity this month to move through karma and sin, and move to a position in May where you are living life on much better terms. And you got another page. See, you're turning the page again. Yeah? So you're receiving a message in April, which is of an emotional nature, or a new person enters your life, or a relationship enters a new phase. Even though on the surface it may look like a negative situation, when you move through that and you're like, you know what, ego, I know this happens. It's happened time and time and time again. I've been dealing with this. I've been working on myself. I've been talking to a therapist or a counselor. I'm constantly in prayer. I'm writing down things. I'm doing my journaling. I'm whatever it may be. I'm talking out loud in my lounge room to myself every night, looking like an idiot. People think I'm an idiot, but it's the way that I pray, and whatever it may be. You do the work. In May, you get a message which is about good news regarding financial matters and wanting to do something more challenging. There's a new area of study for you, and you're regarded as being scholarly, dependable, patient, and you will be successful. So yeah, there is a lot of messages coming through to you. There very well may be an opportunity which will come to you in April, which makes your heart flutter, but doesn't make her heart flutter. If you're the knight, or if you're the queen, maybe it might make your heart flutter, but then for a child or for someone that's younger than you, they're like, oh, really? I've got to move schools? Really? I'm going to lose all my friends? Really? That's going to happen? I don't want that to happen. As where you may be thinking, we've been hanging around here for so long, nothing much is really happening. Yeah, you know what? We're going to move. We're going to move. You've done the work. You're waiting for that opportunity. The opportunities come up. You're going to take it. But it will affect other people. And there will be people that will be cut up about it. But you've done the work. And they will understand. Because at the end of the day, when you move into your 8 months, things are happening, things are moving, things are flowing. You're in that constant flow of energy. Things are moving up and down, in and out. That energy is happening. It's moving. You're balancing things out. But there's laughter still. There's a lot of laughter. And there's a lot of emotional connection. And I'm feeling the passion, the fire, the wanting, the urge. Yes, I want this. I definitely want this. This is happening. But you may be bound to secrecy. Your psychic insights may be saying, don't rush in here because, it might not be the opportunity that you're waiting for. Maybe something you've been waiting for so long that an opportunity comes up and you think, should I take it? Should I rush into it? You're thinking, should I take this? Is something else going to come up? But what are you going to choose? Spirit and emotion? This could be another timeline. Spirit and emotion or material wealth? Which one do you want? Some people say, I want both. Well, given the fact that April is 8/8, you can have everything you want. And according to John chapter 6, verse 6, he distributed all the bread and fish as much as they wanted, with plenty left over to spare and share, which they collected in the baskets. Have both. If you can make it work, why not? But keep it to yourself, because what am I seeing here? I'm seeing a wolf. Now that reminds me of, someone and some situation may be a wolf in sheep's clothing. But I'm seeing a domesticated dog. So, I'm seeing that, there's law and order here, rhyme and reason. There's a reason for making the decisions that you're about to make in your life. And you can have everything you want. They had everything they wanted. And there was plenty left over to spare and share that they filled how many baskets? Go do the research. John chapter 6, verse 6 to 13. The story of feeding the 5,000. We're just coming out of Easter, or will be. So yeah, you have the opportunity to have love and have all of your needs provided, all of your needs and your wants provided. And there's absolutely zilch wrong with that. You are totally entitled to have everything you want within the law of God, which means you cannot break the 10 Commandments. And you must obey the golden rule. And if you can do that, you will be very much well to do. I'm hearing the young woman cry. Now, this could be the response to parents that are saying to their children, look, we are moving in a new direction. We've been here for a while. Nothing much has happened. We need to move to look for better opportunities. We're going to go. And there'll be a young teenage girl who will be upset about it because she doesn't want to leave her boyfriend. Or this mother actually finds out that her son is dating this young lady and she doesn't like it. And this is where I'm talking about things may come to a head, because these two young souls actually very well may be twin flames and they know it. But given the fact that there's so many fours in this read, there will be trials, and maybe there even may be police involved, and that could be very normal given the state of society today. And I'm not saying he's older than her. I feel they're around the same age. They're not particularly doing anything that other young people aren't doing, but I feel like There'll be parental enforcement, and they will try to involve the authorities here in this. And they've been keeping this relationship quiet for a while. This is another timeline. And so we've got two young women in this thing as well. This can represent women, two young girls. So we could be also looking at another timeline. So a mother that's not happy about her son having a relationship with this young lady. Another young lady is involved in the situation. Party event maybe. Hanging around, doing nothing to do, getting into bad trouble. Especially with the moon, secrecy, shoplifting maybe involved. One person blames another. Police are involved, leads to a whole situation, leads to a flare-up, girl wants to run away from home, wants to move in with boyfriend, rah, rah, rah. Long story. If you are these young people and you are watching this video, please don't make the same mistake that I made and ran away from home. Don't run away from home. Don't run away from home. If you're in a bad situation at home and you are not safe, you definitely need to go to your school counsellor or tell a teacher or call the children's hotline or go to Headspace or go online and talk to someone. You can do that by text these days. And get the situation resolved, because even though it may look bad, it's not as bad as you think it is. And what could be worse is if you leave home and you end up making one error after another, after another, after another, after another, because the issue was never resolved, and you become an adult and you have to resolve your own trauma, and that leads on to all sorts of things like drugs, alcohol, sex, for young women, pregnancy. So if you are a young person and you're watching this reading and it's the month of April and you've worked out that your life path is 4 by adding each digit in your birthday until it reduces to the number 4, please go and tell someone. I really mean that. Please go and tell someone. Speak the truth. These matters can be resolved very easily and very safely, putting you into a good situation where you complete your education and you do not end up couch surfing and moving from one situation to another, because you can have a very good career moving forward and you can be filled with love and light in your life and your heart, and you are tremendously loved anyway. You just might not realize it. There is always someone there for you to talk to. So that's another timeline. In some countries in the world, same-sex relationships are absolutely against the law. If you're in one of those countries and you're in a same-sex relationship, go to an embassy and tell them, I'm in danger here. Not your own embassy of your own country, but go to an embassy, tell them I need to come to Australia as a refugee. I've been in churches before, especially Metropolitan Community Church, where they do that. They sponsor refugees to come out to Australia. And they do that in other countries too. So if you're out there and you're seeing that, and yes, it does say that homosexuality is a sin in the Bible, but by law, by divine law, if you have sex with anyone, you're married to that person. So most men on the face of the planet are fornicating if they don't marry the first woman they sleep with. And then if they get divorced and marry another woman, they're still fornicating. That's called adultery. So the whole world is sinning, actually. The whole world. Every single one of us. Even the Pope. Yes, he sins. He's not sinless. He feeds the flesh. To live by biblical law, which is to be a legalist, is very, 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 very difficult, if not impossible. And actually none of us, not a single one of us, is worthy of touching the sandals of Jesus Christ or any other sacred being for that matter. That's why we're here. Because we have learning to do, because life is for everyone, life is for everything, life is for evolving, life is for enlightenment. And if you're here on this planet and you're not Jesus Christ, you are not completely enlightened. If you were completely enlightened, you'd be walking on water. You'd be the Buddha. You'd be Green Tara. You'd be Kuan Yin. You'd be Melchizedek. You'd be Saint Germain. You'd be any other great mystical teacher that has walked the earth. This flesh suit dies. It dies. Then you go on and live in higher realms, higher dimensional realities. But that's another story. If you want to know about that, you can go onto my TikTok and I talk about some of that. But you can find me on TikTok, Reverend Stargazer. I'm seeing a few different timelines here. A few people, young ladies, a man, younger man in his 20s, an older lady. I'm seeing messages. I'm seeing a major awakening regarding the moon. Yes, it's around the 8th for some people. Is there going to be a cataclysmic event? Well, I certainly hope not, considering the fact that Catholics for centuries have been praying, glory be to the Father, and to the Son, to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. And, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but away from all that is evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Not set you free. You're free already. You have free will. You have free will. You have the free will to deal with situations in an ethical, understanding, compassionate, loving, supportive, well thought out, objective way, or not. And usually when you choose the latter, it ends in a bad way. But John chapter 8 verse 32. You're already free. You have free will. You're born with free will. That's why it doesn't say set you free. It says make you free. You have free will. You're already free. Proverbs chapter 15 verse 33. The fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility. So you need to humble yourself And for those young people out there that are dealing with parents, you need to step back and say, why is mum or dad approaching this matter the way that they are? Because maybe they've lived their life in a way where they've lived certain mistakes, they just haven't told you about it. They know where it leads to, and they don't want to tell you about it because it creates too much pain within themselves to tell you about it. Our parents don't have to tell us everything about their past. Most do, if you ask, if you have questions. But we need to humble ourselves, have humility, lower our stature, not be so lofty, proud, just charge into a situation. Because in that 7 month comes that persecution. And it's not necessarily he's putting into my mind the more to focus on the resurrection. And I won't even discuss what I was going to discuss with you. Focus more on the resurrected Christ, or the resurrected love, or the resurrected joy, or the resurrected peace, or the resurrected harmony. Focus on the resurrection, not the persecution, not the condemnation. Focus on the resurrection. That is Good Sunday. That's Good Sunday. He's saying, yeah, that's Good Sunday. That's the best Sunday, actually. We call it Good Friday. What's good about it? What, we murdered someone. Actually, what we did to Jesus Christ was worse than murder. Worse. Go see the Passion of the Christ this Easter. You'll see. Horrible. Even if it wasn't the Son of God, it's horrible that they even did that to people back then. Focus on the resurrection. Good Sunday. That's what's good about the story. He resurrected from the dead. He overcame death. We overcome death too. Our flesh suit dies. We rise up into higher dimensional realities where we exist. We're united with friends and family. We do a life review, which for some is going before the judgment seat of Christ. We're made to pay our retribution. We're given 777 times the compensation. So it's good to be humble. Mum and Dad don't want you to do something. Don't just go, why? Just say, why? What's going on? What's wrong with this? What do you see that's wrong with this? Be open, honest. For the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth come by Jesus Christ. John chapter 1, verse 17. So it's getting back to that whole idea of the golden rule. Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. Be kind and loving to your neighbour. Love thy neighbour. Be open and kind and considerate. Because when you have that moment, which very well could be around the 16th, or it could be around, the 16th of the month. I keep squaring that in with a box. Yeah. Just pull yourself back. I'm not going to respond with negative energy. I'm just going to sit back. I'm feeling the fear. But if I'm in danger, I'm going to tell someone. If I'm in a negative situation where there's drugs or alcohol involved, or there's sex, or there's whatever, and I'm not happy, I'm going to be calm. I'm going to get myself out of this situation. and I'm going to go and I'm going to tell someone. I'm going to either call the police or call my mum or call my dad, call a friend. There's always someone, because you don't want to end up in a situation where there's trauma, and that's the feeling I'm getting. But for those of you that aren't on that timeline, that are on the timeline of you've already been through a period of learning and growth and development, and you're connected spiritually with whatever faith that means that you practice, or whatever spiritual philosophy you have, the religion doesn't matter, the connection does. The connection does. Now, I, being a Christian metaphysician, connect with Jesus Christ and Christ-minded or Christ consciousness. So the ultimate for someone like me is to become Christ-minded. But for you, it may be Buddha, Muhammad, Green Tara, Kuan Yin, Melchizedek, Saint Germain, Mother Teresa, one of the Hindu deities, whatever it may be. Connection. Because at the end of the day, working on our trauma and bringing in love and sending out love, in with anger, transmute, out with love. In with anger, transmute, out with love. In with anger, transmute, out with love. Just out with love. Out with love. So judge not that ye not be judged. Now you are allowed to make, that's Matthew chapter 7 verse 1. So it's funny that we end the King James Bible cards on that card. So judge not that ye not be judged, but you are allowed to make a righteous decision. And if that righteous decision means you have to mark someone who causes division contrary to the doctrine, which means basically if you are around someone that's causing you to falter, someone that's a stumbling block, someone that's causing you to do things that you know that are not good for you, you are allowed to say, I don't want to be around that person anymore because they are A, B, C, and D. That's a righteous decision. That's not a judgment. To point your finger and say, you are. Now, the power of God is, or the word of God is within our mouths. You are this in anger. That is not okay. That is not acceptable. That is not tolerable. That is actually verbal abuse. And verbal abuse is not acceptable. So to point your finger and go, you are A, B, C, and D, that's not acceptable. But making a righteous judgment, a righteous decision, because we make judgments all day, every day. I'm going to have a cup of tea. That's a judgment. That's a decision. But to stand in persecutory judgment of others, especially hiding behind the book, and religious people will know what I mean by the book, standing behind the book, using the book to condemn and persecute, that is not tolerable. Not in the kingdom of God, not anywhere. Making a righteous judgment and saying, I don't want my children around that particular person because that person's involved in, and we have evidence of that, and it's going to lead our children down this path, that is completely acceptable. As long as it's educated and it's true and it's accurate. So let's do a healing. Let's do a healing. Wow. You 4 life paths. So much going on. Opportunity, this tower moment on the 16th. These twin flames coming together. this karmic situation which is taking place, which is balancing things, leading into May. Wow. That's an 8-month. Perfect month, May. Perfect month, April, for that solar eclipse. Because leading into May, so as soon as the moon crosses over the sun, just know that the way you've judged is the way you'll be judged. Things will start to shift very, very quickly. Hopefully you've got childlike wonder, because when you step into the game of life, after the time of that solar eclipse, it's like, okay, here we go. Let's count down. The moon will be completely moved across in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. And as that moon's crossing and you're getting ready to step into the game of life and you need that childlike wonder, wow. And some people will be moving with that energy. The ones that have been in tune and doing the work, they'll step fully into that. They'll be manifesting. Not elephants in the room, hopefully. But yeah, people will be stepping into that energy. Stepping into a golden age. The ones that have been doing the work. But how you've judged, that's how you will be judged. What you put out is what you will get back. 777-fold. And ever mind the law of 3. You witches out there know what that means. So divine essence. I am limitless as my true essence is that of purity and possibilities. I'll draw these symbols over you in a second. Lightheartedness. We'll do 4, 1 for each week of the month. I release self-doubt as I allow my heart to be filled with Spirit's light or Holy Spirit's light. Christ consciousness, Buddha consciousness, Muhammad consciousness. World peace. Wow. Now that is a card to draw. I cooperate with others as I hold the vision for a safe and harmonious world. Because everybody is a child of the Most High God. We all come from a single point of singularity. The point of origin. A single point of origin. We all come from that. Whether you call it the Big Bang, whether you call it the Word, whatever you call it, there's a point of singularity, a point of origin. Everything after that comes from that singularity. We are all children of the Most High God. Every single one of us, regardless of colour, skin colour, sexual orientation, political affiliation, religious background, spiritual background, ability, different ability, whether you're blind, whether you are mute, whether you are deaf, whether you're in a wheelchair, doesn't matter. Everyone comes from the single point of origin, the singularity. And in Abrahamic religions, we call that the Word, because in the beginning there was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, which was actually in Hebrew is Deva. That's why we have Devas. Oh. Beacon of hope. I inspire others as I shine brightly with a passion for living. I shine brightly I inspire others as I shine brightly with a passion for living. Right. So, feet flat on the floor, please. Warming your hands up for me like this. If you're watching on your phone, it might be a bit difficult, but warming your hands up, taking a few deep breaths in. Put your hands like this for me. You might not be able to see what I'm doing, but put your hands like that for me. Oh, angels are never late. Oh, they're always on time. Flatlined. Give him 50 cc's, please. That was a joke, by the way. The first one. Divine Essence. Divine Essence. Divine Essence. The second one. Lightheartedness. 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 Third one. World peace. World peace. World peace. Fourth one, beacon of hope. Beacon of hope. Beacon of hope. It is my prayer that you will step completely into your divine essence as you were created to be. It is my prayer that you will bring lightheartedness into every situation as you move forward into the game of life. May you be a conduit for world peace in your community and your country and the world at large, knowing that first, world peace starts with inner peace. So concentrate on your inner peace. And it is my prayer that you will be a beacon of hope to those around you. I pray that you will understand that you are limitless. Your true essence is that of purity and possibilities. You will release self-doubt as you allow your heart to be filled with Spirit's light. You will cooperate with others as you hold the vision for a safe and harmonious world. And you inspire others as you shine brightly with passion for living. For this truth I give thanks it is so, and so it is. And that finishes our monthly message, our birthday message. Many happy returns for those of you born in April. So be sure to head over to TikTok. You can find me there. You can find me here. I do weekly reads usually. Unfortunately, I hadn't done a reading because I had moved. But things are slowly settling at home and, I should be on a lot more. So check out my monthly reads, my weekly reads, my TikTok reads. And if you like me, please don't hesitate to give a like, a share, and a subscribe. Have a wonderful month, and I will see you soon. My name's Reverend Stargazer. Bye.